Hello and welcome to Aviation 101 with Laura. I was really excited to find out that Garmin Pilot has produced a new version of proprietary Garmin instrument approach charts. So since I have a Garmin Pilot subscription with the premium option, we can get to the SmartCharts. And so I've made a chart binder through the normal way of making a chart binder, but if you haven't enabled it, Flight Charts is the government FAA charts, which I have a different briefing video about that. If you want to check that out on my channel, I'll link to it in the description. But today we're going to focus on the SmartChart. So I've got that selected. First thing I really like about this, I just picked my one airport and added approaches here. My airport does have a lot of NOTAMs at present. So this is very cool because it is integrating all the NOTAMs going on. Like our long runway is closed currently, and you can see they've given me a very clear alert that the runway is closed. I can also tap show with minima, and now I can sort by the lowest altitude. That for my MDA here, I can change the category. Typically the Skyhawk I fly falls in category Alpha, but we can turn that off. So now let's take a look at a approach chart. So I'm going to actually start off with looking at the ILS here. I've pulled up the ILS. The cool part about this is I can zoom out. Right now it is showing me all the transitions, but I can change with transition to, say, for example, I want to do the arc from Godho. I'm just going to pick that, and now it only shows me that part of the approach. Okay. Other things that I have noticed when looking through this, you have your typical identifier for the VOR. The bottom profile view has these little altitude markers, sort of. They're obstacle areas showing you what is nearby as you're flying this approach. So that I thought was pretty interesting. I also can either show or hide the missed approach icons. I can use comms up here to show or hide all the communications things. If you don't know what one of these things means, so let's just look at East Tex Tower. We have the star means frequency is part-time, C is a CTAP, and L has pilot-controlled lighting. So that's cool. We can hide that note. We also have the briefing area. So this is like our icons briefing, kind of like the briefing strip on a Jeppesen chart, but I also really appreciate we have the landing distance available right there. I've got my touchdown zone elevation, all this great stuff. We can also flip over to the missed approach, which is what it was showing when I first pulled it up. So that's cool. But where this really shines is in my minimum area. So I can show or hide it down here, but if I tap on minimums, okay, and let's say that we actually, right now, like I said, this runway is closed. Okay, so this runway is closed. So we could do the approach, but circle. So I'm going to tap MDA for circling here. And I could also make some corrections to my minimums. For example, let's say I could not get the Gregg County, the East Tex Regional Airport altimeter setting. I could change it to getting Gilmer altimeter setting. Now, once I remove all that, you can actually see a few things have happened. It has drawn for me the circling minimum area. So this is a protected area for category B. If I change my category, say up to category D, you can see that that area got significantly bigger. So I really like that because this is where the FAA has evaluated the obstacles. You will also maybe notice that now my MDA has increased to 1140. Let's go back to the category A. And now you see my MDA is back down to 920. So it's basic, it's dynamic as long as you put in good information. Now, the only downside of this is if you don't put in good information, we get junk outputted and you get wrong information. But also remember, when I was messing with my minimums, I chose that I was going to use Gilmer altimeter setting. So it's actually done a correction for me there too. And if I want to see the corrections that have been made, I'm going to tap the little 3 dot with a circle in the very top right corner. And now I can actually tap on minima adjustment details. And we have right here the adjustment that it has made, increased my MDA by 60 feet to a MDA of 920 because of that altimeter setting not being the local altimeter setting. So this is very cool because if you want to make these adjustments, okay, you can make them very easily. You can also tap reset, and that will also reset the minima and the category back to whatever you have set the default in. So currently, this is set up to be a category B as a default, but I really love that this little reset recenters it for me. I can click zoom to center real easily. Okay, I can tap on the transitions, bring them all back up, and I can reset everything that I've done to this chart. So it's kind of like a customizable chart functionality. Now I also can tap on NOTAMs, and I get all the NOTAMs, which actually I've been showing you guys the ILS, but it's kind of stupid because the ILS is currently out of service at East Texas Regional Airport anyway. But I've got all the different NOTAMs here, which is awfully handy. So let's try another approach. Let's just look at an LPV or a LNAV VNAV approach. All right, to a runway that's actually open. So here's runway 36. This is currently open. Okay, so I've got this pulled up. I've got all my transitions. There's a whole bunch of possible transitions. Notice they haven't labeled any of these as initial approach fixes. But if I tap transition, you can actually see where we have various initial approach fixes. So let's just pick pipes, which shows me the holding pattern, which is pretty awesome. And you can actually slide to the left and to the right on your profile view. And so it shows me that holding pattern at pipes is supposed to be done at 2,400 feet. IF meaning it is an intermediate fix, but I also for initial approach fix is what I am pretty sure that it's doing. If I switch this over to Godho, okay, yeah, I can transition from Godho, but technically Didri right here is my initial approach fix label with an I, and notice pipes is again IF. But notice now my profile view has eliminated any mention of the holding pattern because if I do this approach from Didri, there is no procedure turn required at pipes. But if I want to do the procedure turn and see that information, just tap pipes and there it comes back up. So there's my holding pattern. Once again, I have to move over to actually see it, but there's my altitude for that right there. Also cool is this little countdown at the very bottom, counting down the distance to threshold. So if you were doing an approach to a non-towered airport, this would eliminate you having to do all the math of saying how far away you are from the airport while you're making your radio calls as you are coming into land. So that would be really great at pipes, 11.8 miles, whereas on a typical chart or even a Jeppesen chart, I would have to add up all these distances here at the bottom. Pretty much the profile view is pretty similar. We have the Maltese cross from the final approach fix. It gives me a visual descent angle, so that's my angle that I should be doing. It doesn't really show a VDP, but it kind of is implied by where that purple line is crossing my MDA. Okay. Once again, if I want to see everything about this approach, you can tap details. And here I actually have everything that I would want to know. So it brings up the comms, brings up briefing, brings up the mist, and it brings up the notes area. And then for anybody who is sharp-eyed and notice there's no MSA circle, well, there is my MSA right there printed out. So the information's there. Additionally, it tells me there's a PAPI on the right side of the runway. If I could look at that for the brief page right there. But I really like that. The details is really handy. And then you can just tap this to go back to the approach itself. Okay, again, NOTAMs can be pulled up. We have a FICON NOTAM. It's actually from when it rained yesterday. And then the fact that our runway safety area has been reduced a little bit. There is ability, I could see all the other NOTAMs, but these are the ones that are specifically applying to runway 36. And then I can change my minimum. So I have LPV, LNAV, VNAV, LNAV, circling, and once again, I have all the different options. I can configure different things. So if I'm able to do LPV, I can just tap on that. And then you will notice now we have a DA shown of 630 feet. I have everything shown as far as my transitions, but if I were going to want vectors, for example, Garmin allows you to do that too. Just tap vectors and it clears up my chart significantly. I don't have everything else drawn on there. My profile view has been seriously simplified. And also interesting is now the profile view actually reads opposite direction, which I find fascinating. So if we go back to 3.6, you can actually see, let's just change it also. There. Okay. So interestingly, I really don't know. Honestly, this is like because it's coming up from the south direction. I really don't know why Garmin has it left to right versus right to left. I actually have no idea. But that would be cool if you guys have any idea why. I would love to hear that from you guys in the video comments. Just seeing if there's any other. Nope. It just seems that the 1.8 approach has the reading opposite. And if we go back to the ILS, it's also like that. Let's do the VOR 231. Yep, it's reading the opposite way. So it's almost like if you're landing north or northwest, or maybe even northeast, we have a direction coming in. This is a very long one because we have an extremely long thing. And here is also how they depict a procedure turn. So let me clean that up a little bit, and let's just look at the procedure turn from Gregg County VOR. Okay, so Gregg County VOR is right here. We have the procedure turn shown at CAPS. Okay, you're supposed to do the procedure turn here. We have all the information. 15 miles from CAPS for my procedure turn is where I have to do this turn. And you have all the headings shown here along with the altitudes and, like I mentioned before, all the terrain elevations and any kind of obstacles also. Once again, I can go in and make changes to my minimums, change it to Gilmer, and then you can actually see that the note actually goes away, which is also cool. On my profile view, the note has gone away mentioning the Gilmer altimeter setting. If I put it back to KGGG, the altimeter setting note is back, and it even dynamically changes that step down at JEPIN. So this is extremely cool, but like I say, you have to put in everything right. So if I get back to restore all defaults, if I get all even the weeds in, I've all screwed everything up, you can just tap reset and go back to everything like it started out. So do make sure that you do the right minimums, make sure that you're doing the right settings, otherwise it is not going to work very well. So thank you for watching Aviation 101 with Laura. I would love to know what you think about the new Jeppesen, this is not Jeppesen, the new Garmin SmartCharts. If you want to learn about Jeppesen videos, I got a video about that, so check that out. But otherwise, thanks for watching.